All right, today we're going to talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci fi movie, but it's happening right now. We're diving into the wild intersection of artificial intelligence and the real physical world, and how that mashup is set to completely change the way we learn. So think about it. You've already got a powerful AI right in your pocket on your phone. And we've all seen those VR headsets that can transport you to another world. But what happens when those two things stop being separate and actually merge into one single piece of technology? Well, you get something totally new. You get a machine that doesn't just process text on a screen, but can actually see, understand, and interact with the three-dimensional world around it, pretty much like we humans do. This is the beginning of what we call spatial AI. And I gotta say, this isn't some far-off concept for the distant future. It is happening as we speak, and a lot of people are calling it the next massive frontier for all of tech. You know it's a big deal when a guy like MKBHD, who sees basically every new piece of tech, says something like this. He tried on a pair of prototype glasses and was blown away. He's talking about a shift that takes computing off our screens and puts it right into our view of the world. Right now, we're kind of seeing two technologies running at each other from opposite ends of the field. You've got the big, bulky VR headsets trying their best to shrink down and get more comfortable, and then you have these lightweight smart glasses trying to pack in way more power. The spot where they're going to meet in the middle, that's real augmented reality, and the engine that makes it all work is spatial AI. So to really get a grip on this, we need to quickly break down two key ideas that are at the absolute heart of this whole thing: spatial AI and extended reality, which you'll often just hear called XR. So first up, spatial AI. Just think of it as AI with eyes and a sense of direction. It's not just sitting in a server somewhere crunching numbers. No, it's using cameras, sensors, and this really cool tech called LiDAR, which is kind of like radar but with light, to build a live 3D map of its surroundings. It knows that's a cup, that's a laptop, and exactly where they are in the room. And then we have XR, or extended reality. This is the other side of the coin, the part we humans interact with. It's the big picture name for all the hardware, the glasses, the headsets, that lets us see and play in these new worlds where the digital and physical mix together. Now here's the most important part. Spatial AI lives right at this amazing intersection. On one side, you have spatial computing, which is all about mapping the world. On the other, you have AI. And right where they overlap in that Venn diagram, that's where spatial AI is born. That's what gives machines the ability to actually reason about physical space. A really simple way to think about how they work together is like this. Spatial AI is the brain. It's doing all the hard work, all the thinking and understanding about the world. XR, on the other hand, provides the senses. It's the eyes and the ears, the interface that connects that super smart brain to ours. Okay, enough with the theory. How is this stuff actually being used today? Because it's already moving out of the lab and into the real world in some pretty surprising ways. I mean, this tech is already being put to work. Google just showed off glasses where its AI, Gemini, could literally see what the person was seeing, answer questions about it, and do real-time translations. It's the same kind of tech that lets self-driving cars build a 3D map of the road to drive safely and helps robots navigate gigantic, complex warehouses to get you your packages on time. And the results are actually measurable. We're not talking about tiny improvements here. In warehousing, companies are seeing a 30% jump in speed. On construction sites, this tech is helping cut down on safety incidents by up to 40% by mapping out hazards. This isn't just cool tech, it's a seriously powerful tool. But maybe the biggest impact of all is going to be in education. This technology really has the potential to completely revolutionize how we teach and how we learn. As Patrick Lynch puts it, this is really about tapping into one of the oldest and best ways we learn, through storytelling. Imagine instead of just reading about a problem, a student is actually inside the story, on a spaceship, and has to solve a medical emergency by working with an AI. Learning literally becomes an adventure. This whole approach just changes the game. First, student engagement goes through the roof because they're doing things, not just listening. Second, it smashes barriers. A student at a rural community college can suddenly get access to a world-class virtual lab. And third, and this is so important, it prepares them for jobs that are already using these skills every single day. So what does this actually look like in a class? Well, imagine biology students doing a virtual dissection with no harm to any animals, or architecture students walking through a building they designed before it's even built. Imagine history students literally walking the streets of ancient Rome. Or picture a student getting help from an AI tutor that has, as one person put it, nerves of steel. It has infinite patience. Now, as incredible as this all sounds, we have to pump the brakes for a second and be realistic. Trying to roll this technology out, especially in places like community colleges that serve so many different students, comes with some very real challenges. On the one side, the promise is absolutely enormous. But on the other, the practical problems are pretty big too. This stuff needs super fast Wi-Fi, which is a huge cost. Teachers need a ton of training to make this work. You can't just hand them a headset. And then there's the massive question of equity and cost. How do we make sure every student gets to use this, not just the ones in rich districts? So as we look to the future, it's clear we are talking about something much bigger than a new gadget for school. We are talking about shaping the future of how we all interact with digital information. And it is so important to look past the hardware. The headsets, the glasses, they're just the vehicles. The real revolution is in the software. It's in building an AI that has a fundamentally different and much deeper way of understanding our reality. And this really gets to the core of it. Large language models like ChatGPT are incredible, but their world is basically one-dimensional. It's a long line of words and code. Spatial AI is built completely differently. Its models are made from the ground up to think and act in 3D space, and even 4D when you add time. It's just a completely different kind of intelligence. In the end, this powerful new technology is just a tool. We are the architects. As educators, as students, as curious people, we are the ones who get to decide what kind of future we want to build with it. The lesson plan is ours to write. Thanks for exploring this with me.